So we're going to talk about this later on, the Barbarian Empires of the Steppes. Well, I'm going to leave it mostly to James, but he's caught a cold, and I don't think he'll feel like talking about this for a while, but it has a hefty book in it, and it's definitely worth going through. So borrow this from your local public library. Now I'm going to talk about Mother, Father, Son, which it's an okay BBC series, but it's Richard Gere, although he's very handsome, he was not well cast. He's supposed to be a dominant in this, that anyway, he's not suited for the part. So this didn't work out quite well, but Blacklist, James Spader has OCD, so he's anyway, you know what, I'm going to talk about this later. I really love watching this series. My mother surprisingly does not. She thinks he's kind of arrogant or something. Anyway, NCIS Los Angeles season 10. This is awful. Really unwatchable. I did other things the entire time it was on. There was one part where there was what was her name? I meant to remember it. Anyway, maybe it was Fatima? I'm not sure. She was a woman, and she had a scarf on her hair, but she didn't even have all of her hair covered. It was like her scarf was like this, right? And anyway, so there's this, she's playing a Muslim woman, and there's a Muslim guy who's in a hospital bed, and he's handcuffed down or whatever, but because he's a criminal. And she works for NCIS, and he says to her, you wear the, oh, what is it called? See, I'm really tired. I can't be thinking about stuff like this. You know, the thing that covers everything. What's that? Oh, you wear the something, hijab. But something. And it's like, I'm looking and I'm like, she's not wearing a hijab. Like, they didn't even write this well enough for her to be wearing a hijab at the time. So, no. I mean, my sister was visiting Turkey, and there was a woman who, she had, I didn't even know these kinds of hijabs existed. I thought they always had eye holes. But nope, she had nothing. Just, my sister said she had just, you know, she was completely covered. So she had to be led around by the male companion that was with her, because she couldn't even see. So anyway, just do a little bit of research before you actually, you know, even if you've scripted hijab, maybe find out what that is before you act it out, and so that you can put the person in the right costume or whatever, you know, just morons. Anyway, The Pretender. There are pretenders among us, exploited by the center, escaped. He's a pretender, a genius who can become anyone he wants to be. He defends the weak and abused. Are you a doctor? I am today. Nobody is convinced he's a doctor. The patient even has to ask. Honestly, not very good pretenders. And definitely not geniuses. Anyway,